Our fall and winter garden has been awesome, but unfortunately it can't stay like this forever. It's supposed to snow and drop down into the low teens and even maybe single digits this weekend. So we're gonna make some covers for these beds, wrap them up in some greenhouse plastic to keep them nice and warm and a little bit extra protection from the frost. So let's get going.
I believe we're wild and free. I feel so alive, so alive.
Okay, so the plan is that we are going to use these. So these are 1/2 inch, 5 feet long PEX. So the PEX versus PVC, it's really easy to work with and it's really bendy. So I'm excited to try it out and see how it does. And then we bought these little clips. So these little clips slide onto it to hold it in place, and then we'll screw those to the bed and then bend it over and do one on the other side. Then we can use this to be covered in greenhouse plastic, floating row cover, all the different things like that. And when we don't want them in, we just slip them out of those little holders. So that's the plan. We'll see how it works out. And I have my helper here today. You can't tell. Wave. I have my helper here. Lindy's gonna help me and we're gonna see if we can get these all set up today. So right now we're placing our little adapter pieces. This was so easy to put together, and honestly it was pretty affordable. I think each of these 5-foot sections was about $2, and then the little adapters, they came in a pack of 10, and I want to say they were about $4 per pack. So not bad overall, especially because they're already pre-cut, super easy. I got everything at Lowe's, but I'll be sure to link everything down below with the official name that's on the package so you can find them. But yeah, so far this is working for me. So right now I'm just using some clothespins, basically. They're just clothespins to hold this on. I wasn't sure what we would need or if these would work, and we already had them, so I wanted to give it a try. They fit, but I just don't know how well they're going to stay if there's a really heavy windstorm. I do have some clamps which seem to be working, and then I'm going to weigh it down with some rocks around the edges just to help in case there's a windstorm. But I think long term we'll find some better clamps or clips somehow to secure this on. So we found a better way to secure the plastic to the greenhouse plastic to the frames. So I'll show you what we're doing here, but it's super easy. And
we're just gonna take the PVC pipe itself, we cut it into strips, and then
actually 1/2 inch PEX.
Yep, and then broke it even more. So now we can just snap it over the pipe that we've got out there to hold on the plastic.
Yeah, so it's the exact same pipe, but then it just snaps right over. It's super secure. You can still like pry it off if you need to, obviously, when we remove them, but it's gonna be way more stable for the wind, and it'll just secure the greenhouse plastic in between the 2 layers. Basically, we're just cutting this is the same 1/2 inch PEX. We're cutting it with our PVC cutters. These are probably what? 1.5 inch sections that we're doing.
1.5 to 2.
Yep. So Lindy is now cutting out the little strip. So she's using my good pruning shears, which I 100% guarantee that there is a better tool to use than that. But this is what we're using apparently.
Okay, it's the best tool for anybody to use is the one that you're using. So
the one that you have on hand.
These ones win.
That you don't have to drive to the store on Christmas morning.
That.
So basically you just cut 2 strips and It cuts out that little middle piece, and then that can just snap easily over the other pipe. Okay, yeah, so they just snap on like that and hold it nice and securely. So there'll be one at the bottom of each hoop on each side, and then one at the top as well, just to give it extra tension and hold everything steady when it gets some weight of rain or snow kind of sitting on top of it. And then I do still have rocks at the bottom as well, on both ends, just to give it some extra weight to hold it here. So far they're working really well, so I'm pretty impressed. I like this solution. Also, my fingers are getting very cold and this is getting very hard. Definitely try to do this before all the snow and coldness comes. Unlike me, you know, do as I say, not as I do. It does look as though all of the low tunnels held up really well. I need to sweep them off, but not bad considering how much snow we got. So let's check out the low tunnels, see how we did inside. Overall, everything looks really good inside. Obviously, it's still cold, so they are a little bit more, kind of like when you come out after a light frost and they're holding on to the moisture, they're a little bit more tender, but not bad. So I'm pretty impressed, and this was so easy to do. I really liked using the PEX. It's worked really well. And then I have just the 6 mil greenhouse plastic over it. But what's great is I can also use that for frost blankets, floating row covers, things like that as well. So I think this is going to be a really versatile system. I'm happy I got it set up. So be sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more of our adventures, or I guess sometimes misadventures. And it also helps get the word out about how to grow your food in sustainable ways using permaculture methods. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.